Holy Sri Raja Ramachandra ki. Devotees, welcome to each of you to this morning service. To those of you who have joined us online, welcome. We prepare ourselves for our morning devotions, and that is customary. We do so with true invocation. So let's visualize the divine as we tune in ourselves. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Sri Saraswatyaya Namah. Om Sri Sita Ramachandraya Namo Namaha. Om Shanno Mitraha Sham Varunaha Shanno Bhavat Aryama Shanna Indro Brihaspati Shanno Vishnu Rurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmahamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Varnanamartha Sanghana Rasanam Chandasahamapi Mangalanam Chakartaru Vande Vani Vinayako Bhavani Shankaro Vande Sadha Vishwas Rupinau Yabhyam Vinana Pashyanti Siddha Swanthastameshwaram Vande Bodhamayam Nityam Gurum Shankara Rupinam Yamasito hi Vakrupi Chandra Sarvatra Bandhyate. Om Sri Sita Ramachandraya Namo Namaha. Holy Sri Raja Ramachandra ki jai. Bhai jai. Please be seated, devotees. Now, devotees, this morning we are going to engage ourselves in the Ramayana Katha. As we mentioned, Shivratri is not too far away. On the 15th of next month, Shivratri, and I think that I would like to prepare ourselves in mentally and otherwise to worship Bhagwan Shankar on this very auspicious occasion. So this morning we are going to begin a journey where we focus on Bhagwan Shankar, Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar Bhakta Vatsal. Now before we go into the actual discourse, we must have our normal invocation. So we'll begin with our normal invocation and we'll get into Katha. So devotees, Chaupa is followed by Bara Akshar Mantra. नगर कीजे सब काज, हृदय राखी कौशलपुर राजा, रथ चरिसिया सहित दू भाई, चली बनही अवधही शिर नाई, जाके सुमिरन तेरी तू नाश, नाम शत्रुहन वेद प्रकाश, जब तेरा राम राम, जब तेरा राम प्याही घर, सखा धर्म में असरथ, जय राम श्री राम, जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, राम जय जय सीता राम, जय जय राम, वह शोभाजु समझ सुख, कहत नवन खगेश, वरनय शारद शेष सुती, सोरस जान महेश सिया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरणम, मंदो पवन कुमार, खलबन पवक यहन घना, जासु हृदय आगर, बस ही राम शर चापधर, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, 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 Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya. Boli Shri Vasudev Bhagwan ki jai. Devotees, we concentrate on Gajanan, followed by Devi, Bholinath, Matang Mukh Mahaganapati, Vigna Vinayak, Siddhi Dayak. Om Mahaganapati Namostute Matanga Mukh Namostute. Remember I mentioned Mahaganapati is the infinite. What we term to be Nirgun, that Lord with all qualities. But that qualityless Lord, He manifests Himself for our sakes. From Nirgun He becomes Sagun Brahm. Mahaganapati becomes Ganapati. Gajanan, Matang Mukh, whatever name we call Him, based upon the qualities that He possesses or He assumes when He manifests Himself. Mahaganapati is that same one infinite Brahm. Everything has come from one. Hinduism preaches what we term to be the unified theory. Everything manifests itself out of that one, and everything goes back into that one. The substratum of all substrata. So when we glorify Gajanan, it is the same one infinite we glorify. But it's so beautiful. He assumes in a form, Gajanan Mukh, Matang Mukh. He is son of Shiv Parvati. The human mind could identify with these factors because we are born into a world of forms, names, conditioning. So devotees, we start from the known, as we say, we go to the unknown. So we know Matang Mukh in the sense that we have seen him, we can identify with him, but through this worship, we wish to that infinite, Mahaganapati. So understand what the journey is. It's just not singing. It's trying to identify and lift your consciousness to higher levels. Remember Gajanan, he mentioned to Swami Kartikai, when he was leaving the world, Swami Kartikai began to cry and said, "Oh Gajanan, why are you leaving me?" Gajanan said, "Where am I going? Oh Kartikai, I am the inmost consciousness in you. I am the inmost consciousness in you." Every one of us similar. Ishwat Ansh Jiva Vinashi. That Mahaganapati is in every one of us as the inmost consciousness. Try to identify with it. Om Mahaganapati Namostute. Matanga Mukha Namostute. Matanga Mukha Namostute. Om Mahaganapati Namostute. Om Mahaganapati Namostute. Shiva Girija Sutta Namostute. Om Shiva Girija Sutta Namostute. Shiva Girija Sutta Namostute. Om Karishwar Namostute. Om Karishwar Namostute. Mahaganapati Namostute. Om Mahaganapati Namostute. Shiva Girija Sutta Namostute. Om Shiva Girija Sutta Namostute. Shiva Girija Sutta Namostute. Om Karishwar Namostute. Karishwar Namostute. Om Mahaganapati Namostute. Om Mahaganapati Namostute. Gauri Ganesh Mahesh Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh. Gauri Ganesh Mahesh Shivanandana Ganapati Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh. Parvati Nandan Siddhi Ganesh. He Shivanandan Ganapati Ganesh. Sharanam Ganesh, Sharanam Ganesh. पार्वती नंदन सिद्धि गणेश, ओ शरणम गणेश शरणम गणेश, शिवनंदन गणपति गणेश, गणपति गणेश, हे गणपति गणेश, ओ गणपति गणेश। बोले श्री गजानन स्वामी की जय। देवी माँ devotees, visualize. देवी भवानी जगत जननी, मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी, देवी भवानी जगत जननी, देवी भवानी जगत जननी, मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी, मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी, देवी भवानी जगत जननी, हे देवी भवानी जगत जननी, मंगलकारिणी कारुण्य रूपिणी, मंगलकारिणी कारुण्य रूपिणी, नारायणी देवी नारायणी, हे नारायणी देवी नारायणी, महिषामर्दिनी अम्बे भवानी, महिषामर्दिनी अम्बे भवानी, देवी भवानी जगत जननी, मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी, मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी, देवी भवानी जगत जननी, देवी भवानी जगत जननी, मंगलकारिणी कारुण्य रूपिणी, मंगलकारिणी कारुण्य रूपिणी, नारायणी देवी नारायणी, नारायणी दुर्गा नारायणी, नारायणी काली नारायणी नारायणी लक्ष्मी नारायणी ओ नारायणी शारदा नारायणी महिषमर्दिनी अम्बे भवानी महिषमर्दिनी अम्बे भवानी देवी भवानी जगत जननी मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी मंदहासिनी आनंददायिनी देवी भवानी जगत जननी देवी भवानी जगत जननी देवी भवानी बोली सियार शक्ति जगदम्बा माता की जय भोलेनाथ or concentration placed upon Shivaji. And as I explained, the Mahaganapati, Ganapati, the simple kirtan, Antar Jyoti Namo, Paramatma Jyoti Namo. Antar Jyot, Atma, Paramatma Jyot, Param Shiva. Same concept. Ishwar Ansh Jiva Vinashi. Aham Brahmasmi. Chidananda Rupaha Shivuham Shivuham. So I start here. I try to expand my consciousness, as we see, to identify with that infinite. So the journey is like that. Antar Jyoti Namo, Paramatma Jyoti Namo. Akhanda Jyoti Namo. Akhand, without parts. That is Param Shiva. Mama Jivan Jyoti Namo. I am also, as we say, one with him. Mama Jivan Jyoti. He is Paramatma Jyoti. It Antaryami. Indwella, all pervading. Whether it's Vaishnavi, the Vaishnavas say devotees, whether Vedant, Shaivism, Shaktism, the Mahaganapatyas, if you understand the concept, this is the same but one Supreme Lord who is all pervading, pervading every single atom of creation. As Ramayana says, Hari Vyapak Sarvatra Samana. So devotees, when we do the kirtan and so on, you can become lost by identifying, at least if it's just momentarily, that we become one with that Supreme Infinite. It's a wonderful opportunity we have if you can concentrate. So put the minds to work, the bhav, the thoughts, put everything to work. Identify with that Shiva. Antara Jyoti Namo, Paramatma Jyoti Namo, Akhanda Jyoti Namo, Mama Jivan Jyoti Namo, Antarayami Namo, Jai Sadguru Shiva Namo. This is all we see in the devotees, but it is depthless. Experience if you can. Antara Jyoti Namo, Paramatma Jyoti Namo. अंतर्ज्योति नमो परमात्मा ज्योति नमो अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो ये अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो अंतरयामी नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतरयामी नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतर ज्योति नमो परमात्मा ज्योति नमो अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो ये अखंड ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो अंतरयामी नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतरयामी नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो अंतर ज्योति नमो परमात्मा ज्योति नमो मम जीवन ज्योति नमो जय सद्गुरु शिव नमो ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय पाहि मां ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय रक्ष मां ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय पाहि मां ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय रक्ष मां Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Rakshamam. Om Namah Shivaya, Pahimam. Om Namah Shivaya, Rakshamam. Holy Shiv Mahapati Mahadeva ki jai. Devotees, Yagyavalkya Muni was once approached by Bharadwaj. There was the Kumbh Mela, there was many sages, many thousands of sages, millions of people congregated, and then there was satsang, discussions. And Yagyavalkya Muni stood out in all these discussions, closely observed by Bharadwaj Muni, a great sage, much older than Yagyavalkya. And at the end of all the satsang and so on, as the sages were about to leave, all left except Yagyavalkya, who was approached by Bharadwaj, asked him to stay back, worshipped him, honored him as a guru. And he said, "O Holy One, I ask you to stay back because there is a little doubt in my mind. And in my analysis, you are the most qualified to answer my questions, to remove my doubts. But I have a doubt in my mind at this point, even before, that you may think I am testing you, or that I am so old and this question I'm asking, I don't know the answer. But where the Guru is concerned, I have accepted you as my Guru. There is no embarrassment, none of these negativities. I pour my heart out to you. I put aside all these considerations. And O Holy One, the question is very simple. Who is Sri Ram?" Now it may appear to be a very simple question. Who is Sri Ram? I have heard that Sri Ram is said to be the son of Dashrath, a prince, Dashrath, the king, and the Leelas we have all heard. But I have also heard that he is the supreme, Satchit Anand. Who is Sri Ram in reality? And this is the question, devotees, from since time immemorial, people have been asking. Yagyavalkya realized that Bharadwaj wanted to know about Sri Ram. But instead of relating kathas of Sri Ram, he started a long discourse on the glories of Bhagwan Shankar, Shivaji, closely observing Bharadwaji. At the end of all that discussion, Bharadwaji was excited, ecstatic, time and again, tears coming to his eyes, body standing on here, hair standing on end, body quivering, signs of ecstasy, which will not go unnoticed by the experienced eyes of Yagyavalkya, who were looking to see what the reaction to Shiva Katha would be. And here, Bharadwaj demonstrated such excellence of a devotee. Yagyavalkya Muni said, "Bharadwaj, first you asked me to listen to the glories of Sri Ram, but I explained the glories of Bhagwan Shankar to you to test you. It is very necessary, and we have explained this many times, that one should have devotions to Shiva, Bhagwan Shankar, Bholinath, before one can attain devotions to Sri Ram. And you have proven yourself to be, no doubt, a great devotee of Shiva. And devotees, I have explained this already. It is not that Sri Ram is a greater God, but it's just simply as Sri Ram in this context represents spiritual perfection, and Bhagwan Shankar, we have said time and again, represents dispassion, vairagya. And vairagya is a necessary precondition before one can reach to the point of spiritual perfection. And to put it simply, we're going to talk about this over and over. We have been talking about it over and over. The ability to let go. Vairagya. You cannot be caught up in materialism and expect to become spiritual, to attain spiritual perfection. So, degree by degree, gradually, we all strive to attain that state of Vairagya. But it is impossible to attain to that state of spiritual perfection if one doesn't have this passion. Vairagya, let go of all material things. The mind must be focused totally on divinity. So devotees, Yagyavalkya Muni said, Bharadwaj, you are a qualified aspirant to listen to the glories of Sri Ram. Highly qualified. So, I will explain to you. You have passed the test with flying colors. Now, listen. The glories of Sri Ram. But before I go into the glories of Sri Ram, Sharada Daru Nari Samaswami, Ram Sut Dhar Antaryami, Jai par kripa krahi jana jani, Kavi ur ajir na chavahi bani. Saraswati Ma is like a wooden doll, Katputli. And Sri Ram is like the juggler. The juggler has all the strings of that wooden doll attached to his hand. How he pulls the string, so the doll dances. So that Antaryami Sri Ram, he is the juggler. So before I begin to expatiate upon his glories, I make persuasions to that Sri Ram. Jahi par kripa karhi jana jani. The whole world knows when he's pleased with one, when he's pleased with that kavi, that poet, that orator, what happens? Saraswati Mata dances in the yard of the heart of that individual, meaning all knowledge flows. Sri Ram pulls the strings, so to speak. Saraswati Mata dances. In other words, when I strive for this point of perfection, what happens? I tap into the energies in the devotees, right knowledge. What is Saraswati? We have been saying knowledge with application, not just talking. Knowledge with application. So the heart becomes a pure, wonderful spot. You know, there's critical analysis. When we listen to Katha, there's Shravan, Manan, and Kirtan. You have to listen with the ears, of course. Manan, analyze within the mind, critical analysis. And when you begin to get the substance, essence, Kirtanam, you glorify that Lord. It's a journey. So Bhagavan, Yagyavalkya Muni is saying, O Bharadwaji, before I go on to narrate to you the glories of Sri Ram, I first seek His mercy, His grace. I bow to the feet of Sri Ram and Sita Ma. He Raham, He Gunadham, Raghava Sundara Ram, Janaki Jeevan Ram, He Raham, He Raghava Sundara Ram, Janaki Jeevan Ram, He Ram, He Gunadham. Kaushalya Tanaya Raghukula Ram, Kaushalya Tanaya Raghukula Ram, अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम। अयोध्या शिरोमणि दशरथ राम। जय जय राम जय श्री राम। जय जय राम जय श्री राम। राघव सुंदर राम। जानकी जीवन राम। हे राम हे गुणधाम। हे राम हे गुणधाम। हे राम हे गुणधाम। प्रणव सोई कृपालु रघुनाथा, Varano Vishal Jasu Gunagatha. I bow to the feet of that Sri Ram, that Master, whose most pure nectarian-like glories I'm going to relate to you. O Bharadwaj, listen. Paramaram me girivar kailasu, Sadaha Jahan Shiv Uma Nivasu. It begins on Mount Kailas. There is this beautiful place, Param Shobhaiman. Param Shobhaiman, most excellent, brilliant, difficult to express. Mountain, Kailas Parbat. Jahan Shiv Parvati ka sada bas hai. Where for all times it is said, Shiva, Bhagwan Shankar and Goddess Parvati resides. Now devotees, this is the external, and we have to understand that everything is also related on the internal. So Kailash is within us. This Kailash, Shiva and Shakti always reside. When Shiv Shakti reside together, it's a state of non-duality. But that is not our topic. So just understand how you internalize it. So we are talking about Kailash Parbat, where Bhagwan Shankar and Goddess Parvati for all times reside. तपोधन योगी जन सुर किन्नर मुनि वृंद बस ही सदा सुकृति सकल से वही शिव सुख कंद सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। सिद्ध तपस्वी योगी देवता किन्नर मुनि सबू यह सब पुण्य आत्मा तथा बस्ती और सुखदाता शिव जी की सेवा करते हैं. It is said on that mountain you have many other forms of creation. Siddhas, people seeking perfection, perfected beings. Tapasvi, those doing tapasya. Yogi, those who aspiring to attain that oneness with that divine. You have the devatas, celestials. Kinnar, the demigods, so to speak. Munis, human beings. Hermits. All these different types of creation. They inhabit that mountain. Sabha Punya Atma. What is common with all of them? Punya Atma. They are blessed souls, as we say. For the in Mount Kailas, not so easy. Not at all. Whether it's the external one or even the internal one. You have to be blessed, Punya Atma. So they remain on the spot, they live there, doing what? Sukhadata Shivji, the giver of happiness, and not material happiness only. Divine thrill, bliss, Shiva. He is a giver of happiness. They worship that Sukhadata Shiva, performing seva, service in various forms. Remember, we are told that the senses in our body, whether the Gyan Indriyas or the Karam Indriyas, we use them to serve the Lord. So there on Kailash Parvat, they will see the Lord, listen to His glories, in close proximity to the Lord. And why I'm saying close proximity in the devotees, you see, as in today's world, we can look at many things on, YouTube, whatever else. But as I keep mentioning, only the ears and eyes are impacted upon when you look at that. But when in the very presence, all your senses are impacted upon. Think about on that Kailash Parvat. You're seeing Shiva physically. You're hearing the sounds of Kailash Parvat all about. The sounds of Nitya. And of course, there'll be a cacophony of sound. Nitya in all her glory. Yeah? The scent, you'll be getting that for sure. Yeah? The senses impacted upon. The sense of feeling, touch, a breeze, so cool, etc. Think about the devotees. That the Gyan Indriyas, but now they were using the Karam Indriyas, seva, service, performing service to Bhagwan Shankar. How blessed are these people? And I'm saying not were, because from according to all scriptures, they still exist. For Shiva and Shakti remain in Kailash Parvat for all times, sada. So devotees, Bhagwan Shankar, living in Kailash Parvat, as Yagyavalkya Muni saying, he said, "Oh Yagyavalkya, oh Bharadwaj, listen. हर विमुख धर्म रति नाही नरत न सपनि जाहि नूतन सुंदर सब जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय राम राम जय जय सीता राम जय जय राम। याज्ञवल्क्य मुनि बोले, हे भरद्वाज जी, भगवान विष्णु जी व शिव जी से जो विमुख है तथा जिनकी धर्म में प्रीति नहीं, वे मनुष्य वहां स्वप्न में भी नहीं जा सकते। उस पर्वत पर एक बड़ा बत वृक्ष है जो नित नया सब काल में सुंदर है। Bhagwan Shankar is saying, Yagyavalkya Muni is saying, where Bhagwan Shankar resides on Kailas Parbat. It can be explained, it can be described, whatever. But you know what, Bharadwaji? Anybody who is a vilifier of Lord Vishnu or of Lord Shiva, anybody who doesn't maintain dharma, righteousness, dutifulness, such people, even dream, can't reach to that spot. So devotees, we could read it, we could try to paint it, we could do whatever. But to actually reach to that spot, you see there are qualifications. As in everything in life, there are qualifications which we have to acquire before you can reach to a certain stage. And this is spiritual. So, Bhagwan Yagyavalkya Muni is telling us, make no distinction between the forms of God. If you do that, differences, you criticize, you condemn, you vilify, you're out. And then, even more basic than that, if you can't maintain your duties, your dharma, your righteous principles, practices, and remember I have just mentioned in brief, dharma is the inmost constitution by which each person is supposed to live. Dharma is not only praying and religion. Religion is a superficial translation of dharma. Dharma is more basic than that. It's how we live. Let me just put it so you can, to remind you, each person fits into society in different capacities. I use an example like a young man, he's a son, he's a father, he's a brother, he's a friend. Whatever relationships, whatever sphere in life he fits into, there are duties and responsibilities in every sphere. The sum total of which is dharma. So you can be a good son, but a bad father. Understand the point I'm making? That's not dharma. To be a dharma-atma, you have to maintain your duties efficiently, appropriately in all spheres of your life, where you are. And if you go to the Gita, dharma kshetre kuru kshetre. Dharma, kshetra, the field of dharma, kuru, the field of activity, wherever you are. So whichever part of life you fit into. As a son, I do my duty appropriately, efficiently. As a husband, likewise. As a worker, likewise. As a brother, etc. You can't compromise. If you compromise, it's not dharma. And you can compromise dharma and sit down and pray how much you want. It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you. Many of us fool ourselves into believing, pray, ask God for forgiveness and okay. You're not okay. Jaisa karni, vaisa bharni. Once that seed is planted, results are going to come. So devotees, we have to understand this. This is why I'm saying, even an atheist who doesn't believe in God, he can also reach to the highest point if he does his duties efficiently. He doesn't compromise. Let's not fool ourselves. Many may tell you once you pray, you celebrate Diwali, Shivratri, you maintain your dharma. No way. That's in your path. And many of us are confused with culture and dharma. Tie it up. It's easy to fool ourselves, devotees, but I always say I don't want to fool you. I make it quite clear for you to understand. And once you maintain dharma, and prayerfulness is a part of dharma, success is bound to come. And if you don't maintain dharma, notice you are deprived of such, even in dream, Bhagwan, Yagyavalkya Muni saying, even in dream, you can't reach to that spot, Kailas Parvat. And I'm not talking about Kailash in India here, no. Kailash, the inner Kailash. Because Shiva is in every one of us. The pole of greatest awareness within the brain. You can never reach there if you can't fulfill these conditions. Yagyavalkya Muni is telling us. So devotees, bear it in mind, and as I keep saying, man lives himself by himself, man sings himself by himself. Everybody on the journey alone. I can't take you, you can't take me. But you know what? I could keep you back. All you know that? Others keep us back, but they can't help us to go forward. Now, I shouldn't say others keep us back. We are too foolish to allow ourselves to be kept back. Aage chale. This is what it means. Bhai bandhu kutum parivara tu nahi kiska kaun tumhara. Kya karan hari naam bisara. We have explained all this time and again. At the end of it all, devotees, everybody is on your own. Everybody. Everybody. Husband, wife, children, grandchildren, grandmother, grandfather, everybody on your own. I can facilitate up to a certain point. I cannot do anything for you. Always remember, one man can lead the horse to water, 100 can't make him drink. And I don't want the young ones to ask why the Baba talking about horse. That is a statement we use to show us that you have to have self-effort, determination, each person. So devotees, we are on our own. Bhagwan Shankar is saying, sorry, Yaghivalak Muni is saying, Bharadwaji, Tehigiri para vata vitapa vishala. On that Kailash Parbat, there is a banyan tree. Now I don't think in Trinidad we have any banyan tree, I don't know. But in India you have the banyan tree. The banyan tree is very popular with the Buddhists, because it is under the banyan tree that Buddha sat, where he attained enlightenment. If you, Nirgir Parbat Katha, Ramayana, we spoke of that mountain with 4 peaks. One of the peaks is the banyan tree, Vat tree. And Nitya Nutan Sundar Savakala, that banyan tree, forever green, evergreen, evergreen. It doesn't get old, right? It's never destroyed. One day's creation. Sab kalmi, sundar hai. For all times it is beautiful. Now devotees, I question sometimes, when we have seen pictures of Kailash Parbat and snow all over, that height, Himalaya Parbat, how banyan tree growing there, boy. But I don't know why I haven't been there, so I can't say. This is why I internalize that the inner Kailash, there is that banyan. But what is the banyan tree, devotee? That doesn't die. Banyan tree symbolizes that condition of bhakti, devotion. Remember Harikatha, when Kagvoshan was sitting under the banyan tree and expatiate upon the glories of Sri Ram. Devotion. Devotion. Now, I have mentioned to you already where it is stated, after 5,000 years, the Ganga will disappear. The Ganga represents the stream of devotion. So macrocosmically on the outside, and we are seeing it already happening, devotion is gradually disappearing. Gradually disappearing. People perform, many churches, mosques, temples, etc. We perform all kind of karma. But the bhakti, is it there? Check and see. Gradually, it's disappearing. But if it's inside of me, as an individual, we must provide some pockets of resistance towards negativities, devotees. If that devotion is in me, sada, it's all times, I should hold on to it. Don't ever leave it. There's the inner Ganga, and it is not by chance the Ganga flows from the head of Lord Shiva, symbolically. Where Shiva is, Kailash Parvat, under the banyan tree. Understand what I'm saying? Nothing is in a vacuum. It gives us a blueprint for life, what we need to do. Okay, devotees? So when we say these things, physically at some point in time, that banyan tree, when there's Mahapralay, destruction, and dissolution, reabsorption, of course it wouldn't be there. But whenever there is creation, that banyan tree is there. When there is nothing, nothing exists. But once there is creation, bhakti, always remember that. It is the safest, the best, the safest and surest way to reach to that divine. And each one of us must try to inculcate that. Performing the karmas alone is not bhakti. Bhakti is the culmination of all these karmas. Okay? So devotees, we have explained all that ad nauseum. So we go on. I just thought I'll mention to you, and I want you to internalize what this katha is all about. The inner kashi, that inner vat, and that inner, the evergreen bhakti. Bhakti is evergreen. Why? If you go to Bhagavad Mahapuran, and we had a katha with bhakti, a young girl, Gyan and Vairag with 2 sons, 2 old men. All this is symbolic. Bhakti is evergreen. Jnana and Vairag could get old and disappear, but not bhakti. Not bhakti. But bhakti would want her sons with her, Jnana and Vairagya. Without that, you have more bhakti, which you can get fooled very easily. Let me not digress. You see, one topic, one point takes us all different directions in devotees. And sometimes I can't help it, my brain keeps running. Because I want to apply it, not just talk it. Just not stalk it. So let's get back to the point. Bhakti, evergreen. This banyan tree, evergreen. Bhagwan Shankar It would time and again would be, well, let's listen to what he would do time and again on this beautiful Kailash Parbat, way up Himalayan mountain.
विविध समीर सुशीतल छाया शिव विश्राम वितपसूति दया एक बार रम एक बार ते ही तरफ गया करु वीरु की पुर अति सुख भया जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
शीतल मन सुगंध, 3 प्रकार की पवन चलती, ठंडी छाया वाला वह वृक्ष शिव जी के विश्राम का, ऐसा वेदों ने गाया है। एक समय शिव जी उस वृक्ष के नीचे गए और वृक्ष को देख मन में बड़ा सुख हुआ। Devotees, the breeze, the environment of the शीतल मन सुगंध, very soft, gentle and sweetly scented, cool. The freeways, it's gentle, not hurricane force, and it's cool, and you know how it is. They carry a scent with it, devotees. Sugandha, bringing the scent of the flowers and everything from all around. Imagine, this is what I'm saying, the senses are impacted upon when you're in the environment. It is said, Bhagwan Yagvalak Muni said, the Vedas, the scriptures have declared that time and again, Bhagwan Shankar will go in this coolness beneath the vata tree. It is very cool, very cool. Bhagwan Shankar will go there time and again, Visram, to relax. Now, I'm not going to elaborate upon relax, except to say to all of us that there must be time for recreation, to recreate yourself. We have explained this over and over. Workaholic, deadaholic, kill yourself. Yeah? Even other theologies tell you when God created, he rests for a day. That man make out of iron, but iron wear away. So we all must find time, no matter what the pressures are, to relax, to recreate ourselves. You don't do that, you burn the candle from both ends. At the end, you have no candle. So what I'm saying is that the divinity itself is showing us this attitude of one of relaxation. And relaxing, not to sit down there to relax, but your mind with all the job in your head, all the burden in your head. You're not relaxing. Switching off, different environment. And notice where Bhagwan Shankar is going. Under the butter tree. Butter tree. Once it is said, this particular time, Bhagwan Shankar went to that spot. And when he saw the beauty of all its surroundings and so on and so forth, it's his creation. It's his creation. He felt very, very happy, peaceful as we say. देख मन में बड़ा सुख हुआ when he saw the whole environment conducive to relaxation. Yagyavalkya Muni said, Bharadwaj, Bhagwan Shankar then did something. Listen.
कर दास नगरे पूछल बैठे सहज ही शंभु की पर प्रलंब परिधन मुनि चीरा
याज्ञवल्क्य मुनि बोले, हे भरद्वाज जी, भगवान शंकर ने अपने हाथ से सिंह की खाल को बिछाकर कृपालु स्वभाव शिव जी बैठे. भगवान शंकर, he will sit upon a lion skin, his seat, asan. Many sit upon deer skin. Bhagwan Shankar, सिंह की खाल. Now, some other time, we have plenty of time to talk about Bhagwan Shankar. I'll explain to you where he got that. But many people like to know where he got the lion skin from. Alright? They got it from a lion. Okay? So devotees, Bhagwan Shankar described as Kripalu Swabhav. What is his disposition? Very graceful. Understand what gracefulness means. Bhagwan, as you're going to hear, Shant Ras. How to express? We are going to describe him. That Kripalu Swabhav, Shivji, Baithe. So he spread with his own hands his seat and he sat upon it. How he appeared. Chameli, Chandrama Shank ke saman, jinka gora sharir hai. Bhuja lambi, muni vastra, bhojpatra adi nirmit vastra dharan kiye hue. Devotees, Bhagwan Shankar, white in color. Now if you notice, this is chameli. We have seen it chameli, jasmine, pure white. Or the moon, Lakari moon. It is full, bright. White, it appears white in color. Or Shank, the conch shell. That is the color of Bhagwan Shankar. So, Bhagwan Shankar, Gora Sharir, like white in color, like the chameli, etc. Powerfully built limbs, Bhujalambi. His clothing, what he was dressed in, made out of the bark of trees, Bhojpatra Ari. Now devotees, as I go along quickly, I'll put it to you, I don't expect everybody to retain everything, but we have said this over and over. Hinduism is very symbolic. So Shivaji, white in color, the color white, but he's blue-throated. So the color white, devotees, symbolizes all pervasiveness. If you pass white light through a prism, you're going to get all the colors of the spectrum. What is his name? We tend to remember. Roy G. Biv. Since the years of physics, how many donkey years ago? I still remember it. Roy G. Biv, R-O-Y. Red, orange, yellow. G, green, blue, indigo, and violet. Colors of the spectrum. Infrared, ultraviolet, etc. What we are saying, if you pass white light through a prism, you're going to get all the colors of the spectrum. But all emanate out of white. If you put all colors back together, you're going to get back white. So Shiva, by being white in color, to put it simply, symbolizes the substratum. When I started off, I said unified theory. Everything emanates out of one, everything goes back into that one, so to speak. So we look at Shivaji, white in color. It's not white by chance. Everything in Hinduism symbolizes something. We have to understand the symbolism. One picture can say as much as thousands of words. All right, so devotees, and I have mentioned before, what does it mean to me then? Why Shiva white in color? If white represents all pervasiveness, and we talked about it, it means Shiva pervades every single atom of creation. So if I meditate upon the color alone, and the all-pervasive connotation of it, it pervades every single atom of creation, then it's in me, I'm in it. Shiva in me, I'm in Shiva. If you understand, as the saying goes. Nowhere is Shiva absent. And if you analyze that, constant meditation upon that could take you to that point of oneness, not duality. So the color also helps us, for those who could understand that. So devotees, this is why Shiva is white. And Bhojpatra and so on, when the sages go to the forest to live a life of asceticism, and Shiva is the first yogi. So what the yogis do, they dress themselves in the clothing made out of the bark of trees. It provides some degree of comfort, but it shows no set of enjoyment, no finery as such, linen, silk, and so on and so forth. Basic, down to earth, Mother Nitya. All right? So this type of clothing symbolizes asceticism. So Shiva is the first ascetic, first yogi. He demonstrates to us the importance of self-sacrifice. Let's go on. So Shivaji, white in color, powerful limbs, of course, strength and so on. Vastra, clothing, we explained to you why. Now let's continue. Yagyavalak Muni Singh Bharadwaj, listen. Chandra Chabihari. So devotees, as I describe him, paint a mental picture of him. We have murtis and so on here, but you see if you can create your own image of Shiva as described. Turan ke khile hui, kamal ke saman, jinki charan hai. His feet appeared very tender, red in color, like a newly plucked lotus flower. Check that. Now many of us may not have seen the real lotus, So they describe that, to imagine that might be problematical, but we have seen it in pictures. But his feet, very, very tender and red in color. नाखों की कांति भक्तों के हृदय का अंधकार दूर कर देती है. The nails on his toes, there's a brilliant reflection that emanates out of them. The nails. And here we are told that reflection, what it does, भक्तों के हृदय का अंधकार दूर कर देती है. It removes the darkness in form of ignorance from the hearts of the devotees. But you have to try to visualize it. If you can't visualize it, you can't focus upon it. How are you going to remove the ignorance? That in itself is ignorance, if you can't visualize it. So devotees, you see, when you get these forms, these pictures in the mind, and when we say we're worshipping Shiva, concentrate on Shiva, it's difficult to pick up the entire picture. You pick up a general picture, yes. But if you can identify with particular qualities and focus on that, imagine what you could achieve. So the nails from the reflection from his toes, the nails, brilliant reflection, can remove the andhakar, the darkness in form of ignorance from the hearts of his devotees. Sarp, snake about his neck and about his arms, right? The cobra. Vibhuti, ashes rubbed all over his body. And his face, devotees, Chandrama ki chabi harta hai. The beauty of his face, right? If you look at it, the brilliance of it, well, as it is said here, even put the moon to shame. The moon looks beautiful, brilliant, but the brilliance that emanates out of the face of Shiva, who could describe it? The snake, devotees, represents the cycle of time in years. That's one. Shiva, the lord of cycles, the lord of time. He is Mahakal. The snake also represents the individual ego. Now it represents as a serpent. But Shiva is the cosmic ego. When Shiva is shown with a snake about his neck, it shows Naga Vadana, Naga Bhushan. The objective for all of us is to make ourselves, that individual ego, as an adornment on the body of the Lord. Identify with the cosmic ego. Ego is important. Without ego, I don't exist. But if the ego remains based like the snake, it becomes poisonous. You have to transform it and let it become a jewel on the body as such of the cosmic ego, Bhagavan Shankar. The snake also represents a source of infinite power that exists in the base of the spine, Muladhara Chakra. We call it Kundalini. We have said that time and again. Symbolized as a serpent, 3.5 coils with its tail in its mouth. In each person, there is that infinite power that exists, Kundalini. When the serpent is asleep, everybody materialistic. Only if that serpent is awakened and rises up, it becomes spiritual. So, we can tell people when they're spiritual or not. We don't be judgmental, but there are factors that indicate if you're spiritual or not. Kundalini asleep, materialism. When she's awakened, she rises up the chakras. We don't go into much yoga. She wants to be with Shiva, the pole of greatest awareness within the brain. She's Shiva Ramani, Ardhana Arishwar. Right? When she's awakened and moves up, then devotees, spirituality begins to grow, develop in us. Otherwise, we are downright material. And we'll continue to undergo the dualities of life, our choice. So devotees, that snake simply, as you see there, represents so many points. And I have mentioned a few times, that Christian theology tells you that the snake, the devil took the form of a serpent to tempt Adam and Eve. And so in ignorance, many of them, what they try to say, that Shiva is the devil. Because he had this serpent. And if they have an iota of intelligence, they would understand. You cannot superimpose Christian theology on Hindu theology. That is sheer stupidity. So Hindus must not be confused and corrupted by that nonsense that they're trying to impose upon us. If their theology tells you that, no problem. I'm not going to condemn that. But don't try to impose that on my theology. That is nonsense. So understand what the serpent represents. And every one of us, that serpent is in us. So devotees at different levels, no? Depends on how you take it. Bhagavan Shankar, that serpent is an adornment on his body. It identifies him. And as we say, that face of Bhagavan Shankar, moon-like brilliance. The moon sustains, we are told. So if a person could only visualize Bhagavan Shankar in this way, that brilliance of his face and so on, one is sustained in more ways than one. Bhagavan Shankar devotees, one without a second. Yagyavalak Muni said, Bharadwaj, listen.
जतः मुकुट सुर सरित शिव लोचन नलिन विशाल हे राम लोचन नलिन विशाल नीलकंठ लावण्य निधि सोह बाल विभु भल किया पति रामचंद्र की जय शरण
Yata Mukut Sur Sarat Shir. His hair tied in form of matted locks. Shir par Surasarita Ganga. The Ganga flows from those matted locks. Kamal ke se bade netra Nilkant. Kamal se bade netra. His eyes are like large lotus flowers. Large eyes. Big eye? Bhavya Chakra Kanhaya. This it says something fawn-like in Nitya. Big eyes, large eyes, but like the lotus, no? Nilkant, blue-throated. Yeah? And on the forehead is such, the 2-day-old moon. Mathe par dvitiya ka chandrama, shobhit hota hai. You get any pictures, devotees? Get any pictures? They're clear in his mind. So, why the hair in matted locks? So, this was also explained. And it goes back to yoga in itself. In each of us, we have the pran vayu. 5 vital airs. But actually, there are 10. 5 main ones, 5 minor ones. These pran vayu help to carry out all the body metabolic activities. This is in the subtle body. So you have pran, apan, saman, vyan, and udan. Those are the 5 major ones. Nag, kurm, krikar, dhananjay, and devdat. Those are the 5 minor ones. So these 5 help in respiration, excretion, food digestion, devotees, blinking of the eye, burping, coughing, all these 10 pran vayu. Without them you can't function. Now of course most of us don't know about these things. These things are in the subtle body. Now, Bhagavan Shankar had his hair tied in matted locks. So what does it mean? Now, what it means, devotees, is that when he ties the hair in matted locks, what he has done, he has actually limited or cut off or cut out the function of the pran vayu within the body. Now, why? When they sit down for meditation, the devotees, meditation for 15-20 minutes, half an hour, you know. Hundreds of years, thousands of years, as the scriptures say. So when you sit for this time to perform meditation, right, even for puja and so on, the devotees, notice many people can't sit for that length of time. And if you eat a whole set of things before and you come to sit down to puja, calls up nitya. You want to go toilet, you want to go washroom. Because the pran vayu functioning. And once your metabolic activities are functioning, then you need to get rid of waste product. How long could you sit down for? So this is why 2 things. We are told before we pray and so on, fast. Do it. So you put the body under less stress. And you know, when we don't tie over here in material locks and so on, some may have here to tie. But what we do, you know, the idea is to control the metabolic activities of the body. So you have that discipline to sit down for this period of time. So tying the material locks is not that Shiva is the first Rasta. Some people say he's the first Rasta. Rastafarian, no? People talk all kinds of stupidness, you know. It symbolizes the control of the pranvayu, all. Right? I mean, I'm sure you have seen somebody, Om Namah Shivaya. You understand? You have time to say, Om Namah, take you already. And I myself coughing, pranvayu. And when you want to do certain rituals, and you have to stick to that, this is why I could tell people, if you're doing things right, you're not doing things right, or what? You must know the devotees. You can't fool anybody, especially those who know. Right? So on your own, you have to understand. I'm putting all this to all of us, not because Bhagavan Shankar so, because what we need to do to maintain that discipline in our lives also, if you want to achieve success. And to explain why certain practices are carried out, like the fasting and so on and so forth. It is for our benefit. Our benefit. Now we can't control the pranvayu too much, so what we do? We try to limit our intake. That form of discipline. Right? All this common sense, which is not so common. And it is in our interest, not for God. So we understand that? So devotee is pran. And now, from the material locks flows the Ganga. There's a story behind that. So I did mention it earlier. Material locks. When I can control all these bodily metabolic activities and so on and so forth, I go deeper into my meditative processes. Devotee, the Ganga flows, the stream of devotion. So when many times I mentioned, we can sit down here Shivratri night, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, minding KFC, eating chicken, you go on Payless buying shoes, you go on Juve, you're not praying. You're not praying. I say all these things based upon these things here, that the mind strays. Right? And they say you're doing devotion? No. No. Now, it's not to put us down, but to help us to understand this discipline that we need to have if you want to achieve success. It's not just doing things. It's how you do things. So many times people say, oh, Guruji, I do so much. What else are you going to do? Sometimes I feel to give you some long month until you do it until you're dead, you know. What else again you want to do? You know what you do? You could do all these things, but you have this internal discipline. You have to have that internal discipline. It's not how much you do it, it's how well you do what you do. The discipline you have in doing it. Okay? Sutiksha Muni got the month Ram, Arun, Shivarima, Ram, Kabir Das, Ram, and they attain to the high state. What again you want? Long thing? That simple mantra, but the discipline. What Shiva, Deva said, yoga, asceticism. He demonstrates the attitude we need to have, the discipline that we need to have to develop that state of vairagya. If you have these qualities, where are you getting vairagya from? So devotees, these descriptions here have practical application to every one of us. It means the attitude we need to inculcate in ourselves to achieve success. And if you can't, you won't get the success that you're looking for spiritually. Okay? So devotees, Bhagavan Shankar, Baite Suha Kam Ripu Kaise, Dare Sharir Shantaras Jaise. And he, the destroyer of Kamdev, lust, the enemy of lust, he's sitting there, peaceful, as the essence of peace personified. Essence of peace. And we're looking for peace, everybody? Certain world leaders want medal for peace, Nobel Prize, peace. I don't want to go into that stupidity, no? But where are you getting peace from? The gallery? Peace has to come from inside. And if you don't have vairagya, this type of this passion that we preach about here, these qualities we are talking about, where does peace come from? How are you going to get peace? You're only fooling yourself. It becomes politics. Gallery. And at the end of all that, you get whatever medal, you have no peace still. But the yogi is sitting on two pieces of land. developing these qualities, Shanta Ras, they tap into it. That essence of peace, they have it. They experience it. It is an individual journey, devotees. Now, notice importantly, Kam Ras, Kam Ripu, the enemy of Kamdev. We won't go into this story now, where he burned Kamdev. Kamdev, the Lord of temptation. Lord of temptation. Notice where you come here. Peace. How could you find peace if you are tempted by lust, etc.? You have peace? Sit down, you close your eye, but where your mind? Where is your mind? Temptation on all sides, in more ways than one. Sit down to pray, but never happen. There is no peace. This is why we are told here, he said, Kam Ripu, Kaise? Dare Shari Shantras Jaise. Importantly, to find peace, you have to overcome calm. That internal, that lust, so to speak. That contaminates all. And remember, Kamdev is bodiless. He has no form. So before you know it, Kamdev will take you. Because he has no form. And when Kamdev take you, the form comes in the form of a woman or a man. So you get caught up, carried away. And we all know, devotees, that in many places, like in temples and churches and so on and so forth, this is what happens. Now, it's a way, I'm not condemning it, but understand what could happen and become aware and alert that we need to go beyond that. Beyond that. So we're looking for peace. Everybody looking for peace. Devotees, here, importantly, Kamdev, Kam Shatru Shiva. So, to put it in a context, when I worship Shiva, I identify with these qualities. I can come to this point. I can experience, devotees, my internal peace. Because you know why? I develop vairagya. Simply put, one word, vairagya. And this is for all of us. We have spoken, I think, New Year's morning, when I mentioned that attachment. Everybody associate. Association brings attachment. Attachment brings desires. Unfulfilled, anger. From anger, delusion. Delusion, loss of memory. From loss of memory, destruction of the reasoning power. And then when that happens, self-destruction. That happens because there is no vairagya. If there is vairagya, you are in the world but not of the world. Many people think that when we say vairag, you turn away from the world. You die and you go. We say, look, why do you think they say lotus flowers? The lotus extracts all its nutrients that are necessary for its existence, but it is a model of purity. You're in the world but not of the world. Nothing taints you. Nothing contaminates you. As a human being, you need to eat. You eat, but eat to live, not live to eat. Understand the context? Right? Whatever basic necessities, you fulfill them, because without the body, you can't function. But when you see whatever the outside things dominate us, those things that you think that, motivation, I want this and I want that and I don't need that, I am self-destructing. I am self-destructing. So gradually, if there is vairagya, devotees, you could have anything in the world, it doesn't affect you. Vairagya creates an absence of the sense of possession. You're detached, but you're in the world. You're unaffected. Now, it's not easy to reach there, but this is what we are told. So when we begin the worship of Shiva, or we continue the worship of Shiva, I want people to understand, at this level, let's go to a little bit higher now. A little bit higher. I'm talking about finding that peace that exists. It's all around us, it's inside of us. But we can't find it because that's not what we're looking for. We're looking for material things. We have not yet let go of those things that bind us. Simple. Now I'm saying all this, and when Katha finished and everything else, everybody go on like normal. What he's saying? What he's saying? No problem. You're on your own. Man lifts himself by himself. Man sings himself by himself. Devotees, so I want you to understand this and build that image in the mind and develop the attitude, right attitude to go to Shiva. Now, just to wrap it up here, Yagyavalk Muni said, Bharadwaji, Parvati Ma saw that Bhagwan Shankar was in a good mood, sitting there peaceful and smiling within himself. She said, no, these are good times to go and talk to him. All you understand? When your husband in a good mood, then talk to him. When in a bad mood, do dig him, no? Right? So even here, the mother and father was showing Bhagwan Shankar in a good frame of mind, peaceful, relaxing. Parvati Mata came. And you just remember, Parvati was Sati. And in a previous avatar, she burnt herself. She was discarded by Shiva. She was reborn as Parvati. So this is Parvati purified. And I have explained before, Sati, unenlightened intellect. Parvati, enlightened intellect. So what is happening here now? The enlightened intellect, right attitude, right focus. She came to Bhagwan Shankar, who gave her seat on his left side. The lawful position of the wife. And Yagyavalk Muni said, Bharadwaj, recognizing Shivaji to be in a good state of mind, he said, oh Bharadwaj, Bhagwan, Parvati Ma asked the very same question of Lord Shiva. Shivaji, who is Sri Ram? Who is Sri Ram? Prabhu Samar Sarvagya Shiva Sakal Kala Gunadam Yo Gyan Vairagani Pragat Kalpatarunam. She praised him all this way. You can focus upon and understand the power of Shiva. But she praised him like that and said, oh Lord, simply put, there is one thing I want to ask. Sri Ram, kaun hai? So the same question Yagyavalk Muni asked. Yagyavalk gave him a whole long run around. To do what? To test him to see if the intellectual soil is fully prepared to accept the answer. Ramayana says, you don't cast pearls before swine. You don't force people to listen to these kind of things. You have to prepare them for it. Once you're prepared, you're like seeds. You plant in the soil of the intellect, they germinate. And then Bhagwan Shankar, Yagyavalk Muni, he said, oh, Bharadwaji, when Bhagwan Shankar heard that Lord, beautifully, he began to expatiate upon the glories of Sri Ram. The devotees, before we go there, we might not have time to reach here today, but I want to put the whole thing together. Visualize Bholinath. Deen Dayalu Kripa Sagar Bhakta Vatsal. We glorify him. The bhajan tells us exactly what the Katha says. We glorify him. But if you can paint that mental picture of him, remember we are preparing ourselves for Mahashivratri.
Purana Brahma Sanatana Tu O Purana Brahma Sanatana Tu Mahadeva Sada Shiva Shankara Mahadeva Sada Shiva Shankara अंग विभूत विराज रही नित संगम से गिरिराज सुत अंग विभूत विराज रही नित संगम से गिरिराज सुत सिर ऊपर दंड तरंग छवि सिर ऊपर गंग तरंग छवि गल बीच भुजंग विशंकर चंद्रकला शुभ मस्तक में तीन मनोहर जूत जता चंद्रकला शुभ मस्तक में दृग तीन मनोहर जूत जता कति में मृग चर्म सुहाय कति में मृग चर्म सुहाय जल बीच त्रिशूल भयंकर है। कैलाश के बीच निवास करे घन युद्ध निरंतर साथ रहे। कैलाश के बीच निवास करे घन युद्ध निरंतर साथ रहे। मुनि ध्यान धरे मन बीच सदा मुनि ध्यान धरे मुनि ध्यान धरे मन बीच सदा सुर वृंद सदी पद किंकर है। गुण ज्ञान विमोक्ष निधान सदा शरणागत जान दया करके। गुण खान विमोक्ष निधान सदा गुण खान विमोक्ष निधान सदा शरणागत जान दया करके। शरणागत जान दया करके। ब्रह्मानंद करो प्रभु दान मुझे ब्रह्मानंद करो ब्रह्मानंद करो प्रभु दान मुझे। तेरा नाम अपार सुखाकर है। महादेव सदा शिव शंकर 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 है। पूर्ण ब्रह्म सनातन तू पूर्ण ब्रह्म 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 सनातन महादेव सदा शिव शंकर महादेव सदा शिव शंकर महादेव सदा शिव शंकर है। ओम धिमिक धिमिक धिम धिमिक धिमिक धिम नाचे भोलानाथ। ओम धिमिक धिमिक धिम धिमिक धिमिक धिम नाचे भोलानाथ। नाचे भोलानाथ, ओम 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 धिमिक धिमिक धिम धिमिक धिमिक धिम नाचे भोलानाथ, मृदंग बोले शिव 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 ओम, मृदंग बोले शिव 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 ओम, डमरू बोले हर 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 ओम, ए डमरू बोले हर 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 ओम, वीणा बोले हरि ओम शिव ओम, शिव 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 ओम, हरि ओम शिव ओम, वीणा बोले हरि ओम शिव ओम, नाचे भोलानाथ, ओम 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 धिमिक धिमिक धिम धिमिक धिमिक धिम नाचे भोलानाथ, ओम धिमिक धिमिक धिम धिमिक धिमिक धिम नाचे भोलानाथ, ओम धिमिक धिमिक धिम धिमिक धिमिक धिम। बोले श्री उमापति महादेव की जय। And devotees, we didn't describe everything. Just one more let me put to you, Bhagwan Shankar, Kaviji Damaru, Dimik Dimik Dim. And within the Damaru itself, it is said it possesses what we call the rhythm of manifestation. There is what we call the Maheshwar Sutra, which is the principle emanates out of the Damaru. And it is the principle of creation. Maheshwar Sutra. So we won't go into too many details, but for our level, Damaru creates rhythm, cycle, we clap, we sing, everything is in cycle. Shiva is the Lord of music, Mahakalakar. So even by worship of Shiva, one can develop. And rhythm is there. But deeper down, everything works according to a rhythm. Creation itself has a rhythm, a cycle. Shiva possesses that rhythm of manifestation, symbolized by the Damaru. Okay? So I want you all to start thinking, let the mind be absorbed in thoughts of Shivaji. Worship him, keep on worshiping. If you do it right, many wonderful things happen, devotees. Get into the journey. So when Shivratri does come, we are very fully tuned into Shivaji. And it will be a life-transforming experience. Yeah? So without vairagya, we can't go forward. May the blessing of Bhagwan Shankar be showered upon all. Bole Shri Umapati Mahadeva ki. We conclude for the morning, devotees. Please all stand. We join together in our prarthana. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. Let's get into our prarthana. हरे शिव राम सखी प्रभु त्रिविधताप निवारण हे विभु अज जनेश्वर यादव पाहि मां शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मेवरं शिव हरे विजयं कुरु मेवरं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलं प्रतिदिनं कुशलं जय मङ्गलम् मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाय तनुहरि ओम आवाहनम न जानामि विसर्जनम पूजां चैव न जानामि क्षम्यतां परमेश्वर ओम लाभस्तेषां जयस्तेषां कुतस्तेषां पराजया येषामिन्दि वर्षामो हृदयस्तु जनार्दन ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ओम मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनार्दनं यत्पूजितं मया देव परिपूर्णं तदस्तु मे ओम असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम त्वमेव माता च पितः त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम गर्व से कहो गर्व से कहो गर्व से कहो बोले श्री राजा रामचंद्र की उमापति महादेव की पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय जगदम्बा माता की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सत्य सनातन धर्म की बोले श्री स्वाहा माता की बेजाए
Sitaram everyone. So just a few announcements for this morning. So firstly, all members of the temple, you are kindly invited to attend a general meeting on Sunday, the 18th of January, right after Sunday service. So that is next week Sunday. This general meeting really as well is open for all members of the temple, everyone here this morning. Is really to give you all an idea of some of the plans for the rest of the year. You all could voice any concerns, give us feedback on how you think certain things may be run in the temple, what you envision for us in moving forward. So again, next week Sunday, you're all invited and your presence will be really appreciated. Secondly, there will be Saraswati Jayanti celebrations being held on Friday, the 23rd of January, commencing at 5:30 p.m. So again, all are cordially invited to attend, as well as if there are any students who wish to sit for puja on that day, you can speak to Auntie Rhoda, our religious officer. Also, please be reminded of our Mahashivratri 3-night yaga taking place from February the 13th to Sunday the 15th of February, as well as on the morning of Sunday the 15th, a special Shivratri job session will begin at 9 a.m. So devotees are of course welcome to participate in this Hawan session, but we are kindly reminding you to please give your names to Auntie Rhoda so that the committee can make the necessary arrangements to cater and accommodate everyone on that morning. We are also looking for a shrota who will be willing to sit on the night of February the 13th, so it's the first night of the Shivyag, and again, please speak to Auntie Rhoda. Also, anyone who wishes to sit for Hawan on any Sunday morning service or at any of the temple events throughout the year, I kindly ask to check with Auntie Rhoda or any member of the committee. So with that, thank you. We invite you again for next week's Sunday morning service as well as the meeting right after. Parasat can be collected as you exit, and please have a safe journey home. This is Aram.
Thank you, Aditi. And devotees, just to focus a little bit on the job. On Sunday the 15th, right, of February, we initially thought that we'll do it within the temple here, air condition and so on and so forth, but the response has been very good so far, and we haven't yet fully got all the response. But what I've decided that we're going to do it at the back. So all get a chance to come to my house. So we're going to put some tents on the outside. If we do it in here with the amount of people who want to sit, it can be quite congested for one, and stifling with the smoke and so on. And we have many people with lung problems. So we don't want to, cause that problem for you. So it is better we do it out in the open. So far, we have had more than 70-something people decide that they're coming. And I think we can go for more than that. I suggest that we could have at least 108. Agni Kund, not people. So families can sit together at one Agni Kund. We have enough space, we can work it out at the back. And each person doing your own havan, guided by me. I'm emphasizing that by me. Okay? So I don't want anybody to take over. Now, we'll give you a list. So coming closer, we'll give you a list which is being prepared, what you need to get for that day. All right? So coming closer, you'll get more details. Parking will be as usual. We'll pass through the front gate, my front gate, come to the back, and we'll make our preparation. We have done this a few times already before. So it's nothing new for those of you who have been accustomed to it. All right? We are doing 1 mala of Gayatri Jap, 1,000 name of Lord Shiva, and 1 mala of Mrityunjay mantra. That should take us until about 12 o'clock. So, tayo here in Jatanding, make sure, because you won't want to have to get up all in between and, So, for that morning you fast and so on. So you won't have compulsion to use washroom and so on. Prepare yourself, test it out and see what we have been saying. But it will take some doing, and it's nice if families sit together, so if one person hand tired, another person could take over. Because 1,000 times to say Swaha is easy, And there's 1,200. Because 108 Gayatri Jap, 108 Mrityunjay Mantra Jap. And Anachakini is 16. 8 and 8 is 16. Yeah. Okay? So prepare yourselves for it. It's a wonderful opportunity. So we'll do that. You'll bring your prasad, everything will be told. So Sunday night, Shivratri night, we won't have any offering of prasad. We'll just do our abhishek and so on. There'll be a presentation by the group, a play on Shivratri, and we'll do Kirtan Bhajan till midnight, Jal offering. And our Shivratri celebration will come to an end. So we have 4 sessions, but 3 days. So prepare yourself. Let's do it intensely. We need it. Okay? So if others who have not yet given me a name, you can feel free to do so. And invite anybody else who want to become part of it. It's not only confined to Gandhi Park. Anybody else who wants to become part, feel free. Let us know. Do join together with us. Okay? So devotees, we look forward to seeing you. Let's keep the journey going. Intensify. I believe in intensifying. Now, while I'm at it, for those of you who like to fast and so on, next week Monday, not tomorrow, next Monday, the 19th. So Sunday, we have our general meeting. Monday, we have starting Gupta Navratra. There are 4 Navratram every year, 2 secret Navratram and 2 major Navratram. So the secret Navratram is no longer secret. We have already told you about it. So those of you who have to worship Devi from the 19th, sorry. This is why you see Basant Panchami, Saraswati Jayanti, the 5th day in the Gupta Navratram. Or you can understand all these things as you go along. All these things happen, they fall in a very auspicious time. So every year Saraswati Jayanti always falls within the Gupta Navratram. It is the 5th day, Panchami, 5th day in the Gupta Navratram. So the 19th, following Monday, the Gupta Navratram starts. So you can make up your mind and some form, worship Devi. Okay? Wonderful. You get plenty Shakti, blessings from such things. I forgot to say Shakti, but people get Shakti. So devotees, so we keep the journey going. The first part of the year is very, very intense. Make use of it. Samay na avat, barambar. Time, tide, opportunity doesn't always come. Okay? Blessings. And everybody, no srota, so I say, Sitaram, everybody. Blessings. Have a safe journey back home.